Hey everyone, welcome to Tool Talk. This is Heather.
And I'm Amber.
Today's exciting episode is about finding the right trainer versus trying to do it on your own. Now, we all know that we get the gumption, the little bug in the back of our head that we can do this all by ourselves, and we can go out and we can work out at home, or we'll join a gym and we'll just strike out on our own. And typically, more times than not, that seems to flop. Number one, because you don't have an accountability partner. Number two, it just can be a little overwhelming and daunting. I have one client who has recently started with me, and she trained probably for 6 months with a virtual trainer, which means that she was in her home and her trainer was somewhere else, and just watching her through the video, trying to cue her, I guess. And it didn't take long for her to realize the value of having a trainer face to face. She, number one, realized that she did not push herself as hard as she did when the lack of pushing herself when she was with her virtual trainer, and then being in the correct positions, working the right muscles. It's all so important to have somebody right in front of you helping you work out.
Yes, and when you are trying to find the right trainer, there's some basics that you want to look at first, and I'm going to go over those top three. And that is, what is their certification? What is their experience? And then what is their personality and training style, and how does it match with you and what you are looking to accomplish? So when it comes down to certification, there are many different certifying bodies within the personal training and group exercise world. There are some top names that you're going to see and know that these people typically have gone through a pretty rigid training and testing method. So for personal training, you might see ACE, NASM. ISSA is starting to move up into that group of higher certifications when you're looking at that. And you also need to check out with your trainer, because you might not know what their certification is. And just because somebody's certified does not mean that they're a good trainer, but it does show that they've put the effort in to make sure that they're checking all the boxes and doing what's right to ensure that your safety. The other thing is, you can get your certification, but you have to continue to keep that up with continuing education units. So what are they doing to stay ahead of the game? What are they doing to stay abreast in the new knowledge that we have year by year within our fitness world? The other thing is experience. Now listen, we have trainers here at the training tool who come in and they're green. They've never trained anyone, but I will tell you that they come here and they're mentored into learning how to properly train different people. So it does make a difference for a beginning trainer to actually have someone who is mentoring them. So I wouldn't say necessarily, oh, they're a beginner, don't go with them, but find out what they're doing to learn about the industry. And with experience, I've been in this industry for over 30 years. I have a lot of experience. I have worked with people from the ages of 8 to 88. I have seen people who have rectus diastasis recti. I have seen people who have issues with like neuropathy. They can't feel their hands and their feet. I have worked with people who have Parkinson's. I've worked with people who are active agers. I've worked with people after they have had double mastectomies. I've worked with people who have been in a boot for 6 months. So I can pretty much work with just about anybody, but I do have some specialties. And that's the other thing. Your trainer probably is going to have some type of a specialty track that they're on, and you want to be working with someone. Let's give you an example. Let's say you are someone who is training for a triathlon. Well, you don't want to be with a trainer who only trains children. You want to be with somebody who specializes in that, in training someone for a triathlon, who has some experience, who can help you train in that place. So the third thing is to see if your personalities match. And I'll just use Heather and myself as two big examples. We are very different trainers, and she calls me a coddler. So she's like, you coddle your clients.
I'm the tough love.
And she's our tough love trainer. And not that she comes in and like yells and screams at people, but she doesn't let people give her excuses.
I take no excuses.
Yeah, she does not deal with excuses. Whereas I'm somebody who is a little bit more like, oh, let's talk about what's happening, and I'm going to try to help you work around that. Let me hold your hand through this. And although Heather will hold your hand, she's going to be more like, shut up. And
just do it. Do what I say. Do what I say, and it will be better.
Yes. And there's neither one of us are right or wrong. We're just right or wrong for certain people. So you want to make sure that you gel with your personal trainer. And if you don't, you might need to find somebody who's got like a different personality that you can gel with. And anything you want to add to that, Heather?
Well, I think that training with a trainer should not be a chore. It needs to be something, going back to gelling with the person, it needs to be somebody that you get along with, that you have the same kind of personality traits, drives, that sort of thing. So that way, when you come in, like when my clients come, they know what to expect, number one, from me. And they know, that I'm not going to take their excuses, but I'm going to guide them in the way that they're looking to be guided. I'm not going to constantly stand against them and, push against them. We need to be pushing in the same direction. And I think that's really important because I have had clients and I can pretty much tell off the bat if we're going to jive or not. Yeah. You just kind of get to where what people, how they behave and what they say, and you can tell whether they're really into it versus this is just something that they want to tell their friends that they're with a trainer. So if you walk in the door wanting results and wanting to get there, we can guide you. But if you're walking in the door just to play the part, it's not going to work out. You're going to end up failing just like you would if you were doing it on your own. So it's important that you realize that you play a big factor in this and finding, and making your ways to your goals. And your trainer is just your support system.
Yes, absolutely. And an education system, because we really do educate our clients a lot. We can answer questions. We help them understand, how to get to those results that they're looking for. And I am a chatty Cathy. Now, Heather talks to her clients, but she doesn't quite talk as much as I do. So that's the other thing, too,
Yes.
And I have had clients that I knew they did not want me to talk, so I really worked on that during our session.
Your time to grow, wasn't it?
I was biting my tongue. But that's the other thing, too. Some people are like, just don't talk to me, just tell me what I have to do. That can be a little difficult for me because I talk so much. The other thing, too, is just people's different personalities and what they like. For instance, I have people that tell me, don't tell me how much longer I have on the plank or whatever. And other people who want me to give them the countdown. Yes. So a trainer who listens to you and designs things around what you enjoy and what you like and coaches you in that way. So we can change our coaching methods a little bit as we're working with our clients, depending on what they need. But it's always going to be to help you to reach the goal that you want to reach, whatever that is.
Yes, and I would say communicating with your trainer is key. I always tell people when they come in, you've got to tell me what you're feeling.
Yes.
I can sometimes tell by your face what's happening there, but a lot of times, you need to communicate with your trainer. This hurts me here. And then I'll say, and then typically there's questions that come after that. So there needs to be a good communication rapport between you and your trainer.
I agree with that. And I read people really well, especially if they've been, I have clients that have been with me for over a decade, so I know them really well. I can see if what I'm asking them to do is just too much, or maybe they've just had a bad day. I can kind of pick up on those vibes. But your trainer isn't a mind reader. So sometimes you just have to say, hey, I really hate this exercise, or today has been a rough day. Can you not like kill me in my
Yes.
workout today? And my clients, they always know they can come in and tell me how they're feeling. And I always have a plan for them.
Yes.
But sometimes I can quickly change that depending on what they need. Sometimes I can tell when they walk in the door, like, are you feeling okay? How'd you sleep last night? Because that's the other thing. We want you to keep moving. So just because you showed up and you don't feel your best doesn't mean that you shouldn't come.
No.
We're here to help you and help you to switch that out, because we don't always feel our 100% best when we go to do our own workouts. So we know how that is to need to change things up.
I think the key factor when you meet with a trainer is if something is wrong with you and they do not change their plans for you, that's a no-go. That's a red flag right there. If they're going to say, if you walk in and say, hey, I kind of, my ankle's a little sore or something, they're like, well, we're doing lower body today. And well, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
If they don't, yes, that is huge red flag. You should run away.
Yeah. They probably don't have the maybe experience to quickly change on the fly. That's something, the more you work with people, the more you're able to do that, the more things that you plan ahead of time. The other thing I want to talk about is also the cost of personal training, because we have people who call or they come in and sometimes I feel like they're a little taken aback by what it costs. And I did a whole video about this. So if you check out the Training Tools YouTube, I broke it down so you can really hear about it. But I want to talk a little bit about that, because people will also ask me, well, how much is it per session? What does that break down to per session? And the thing about it is, it's not just the services that your trainer provides with you within that 30-minute, 45-minute, hour time. It's also what happens outside of the time that you're with them. For instance, the majority of our clients text us and ask us questions. Sometimes they ask us things that we have to research. So your your trainer is actually doing extra work on the back end, researching, looking up things. If you come in and you're like, hey, I have plantar fasciitis, I'm going to go home and research about that and read and find out what exercises work and things that maybe I need to incorporate into your workout. It's the programming that your trainer does. I don't just run in with something in my head thrown together. No, I sit down and I write out your programming so that I'm training you for your goals where you are in life right now at this moment. Heather and I both do that. If you'll see us with iPads, we're constantly taking notes about our clients. And so it's that thought process, sometimes hours. Mm-hmm. Now, you get faster the more experience you have and the longer that you work with someone, but there's still time invested into programming what we're going to do with you. Scheduling takes time, moving people around, figuring out where I can fit you in. The accountability, we reach out to our clients all the time when they don't show up. That's taking time out of our day. I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting on the couch just trying to relax with my husband and my phone is going off with clients texting us. And most of the time my clients feel like they're the only person that I work with, and I want them to feel special like that. But in reality, we have 90-something people, 90 clients that come to the training tool that I have to sometimes communicate with them plus the team. So there's that accountability in there, texting you and reminding you, and all of the things that we put in there. Not just that, there's cost of the things that your personal trainer is offering. So if they have some type of a software that you schedule and pay through, they're paying for that. Music licensing, the equipment that they provide for you, all of that has to be paid for, plus their certification and insurance. And that's another thing, you want to make sure that your personal trainer is insured, because that again shows that they're taking the steps to be a proper business owner and to make sure that you and them are protected.
I would add that if you were to hire a lawyer, or if you were hire a doctor in a professional atmosphere, and if they were providing you services, they would be billed specifically for every contact that you have with them.
Yep.
Everything that they provide to you, like she was saying, the equipment, the time, that sort of thing. That is exactly what we're offering. We are offering a professional service. And it's as important to us as it is to you, your health.
Right. So we're not just like fly by night.
No.
And you can find that, people sometimes want a cheaper trainer, and I get it. We're looking for things that are budget friendly, but I want to say to you, think about all of the things that your personal trainer is saving you money on. Your doctor's appointments, your medication. I mean, we have clients who have gotten to the point that they were able to stop taking medications that were costing them money every month. This is preventative maintenance for you, and if you can afford it, certainly I would say go with a trainer who's going to help you. We're speed tracking your results. You don't have to do the research. We're doing the heavy lifting on the back end part for you to do the heavy lifting with the dumbbells and the weights when we see you.
That's all you got to do is show up.
Yes, and we take care of the rest. So also I want to say that sometimes going with someone who is not as experienced can cost you more money in the long run, because if you get injured doing something and then you have to have surgery or you have to go through months and months of physical therapy, just picking a trainer because they're the cheapest one may not be the best for you to do. But again, that's something that you have to figure out. And I would definitely encourage you to interview different trainers, meet with them, and not pick someone just based on price.
Yes.
Because there's so much more that goes into it. So hope that gives you a little bit of something to look at. So some questions just really quickly to summarize and wrap it up. If you are looking for a personal trainer, ask what their certification is, and if they are still certified, ask them about their experience. Ask them who they like to train. Who is their person that they love to meet with and help? Do they have some specifics as far as that's concerned? Ask them if they're insured, and then ask them what else they're going to provide besides the workout for you within that time period that they are meeting with you. So we hope this helps you to find an amazing personal trainer. Of course, here we are.
Always.
If you need us. If you're in Ocala, you can visit us at the studio. We come to people's homes. We do Zoom personal training for anyone who is not located in Ocala. You just reach out to us and we will hook you up with the best of the best.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.